Hello and welcome to Wisdom Trek. This is Guthrie Chamberlain, and I am your guide to wisdom and creating a living legacy. Thank you for joining us for our 7-day-a-week, 7 Minutes of Wisdom podcast. This is day 75 of our trek, and yesterday our wisdom nuggets was why life is not a spectator sport. And today we want to consume what the true meaning is when we want to encourage one another. We are recording our podcast from our studios at Home 2 in Charlotte, North Carolina. Today the work pace was moderated somewhat, so it was good to be focused on some of the projects that got pushed back a bit. Paula was able to take Kip to his first day of orientation at his new preschool this morning, and we were able to spend the remainder of today with him before returning him to his home this evening. I also had a chance to visit a friend in need this afternoon and hopefully encourage him during this difficult time. His good spirits over these many months certainly have been an encouragement to me. And as we're heading out on our trek today, it gives me pause to reflect on the word encourage or encouragement. What does it really mean to be able to encourage another person or have somebody encourage us? Certainly on our life's trek, there are plenty of obstacles and rough terrain that we encounter each day, and it is easy to allow those situations to discourage us. And that is how life rolls some days or even some extended seasons. While I am generally a positive person, and I do not become easily discouraged for long periods of time, we are all susceptible to experience times where we just do not feel, nor do we really desire to be positive. I think that all of us can relate to this if we're honest with ourselves. One of the most common complaints that we hear from many people today, especially in the workplace, but too many times also in our homes and places of worship, is that we never receive any feedback except for negative feedback. All of us like to be encouraged, but I tend not to need a constant dose of it myself, and so I think I was not as free to give it out as I should have been. I know early on in my life as an entrepreneur and business owner, I made this mistake with my team members. Paula had to remind me several times that encouragement does not come through sarcasm. Unfortunately, at times this also carried over into my interaction with our kids. I did learn through the years to replace sarcasm with encouragement, but it took me a while to make this transition. The good news is that any of us can learn to cultivate a ministry of encouragement in our lives. But first, we really need to understand what it means to encourage one another, or even to encourage ourselves. So what is encouragement? The word is a compound word with the prefix en or n, which literally means to put into or infuse into someone. Think of a blood transfusion where you are infusing donated blood from one individual into another person who is lacking blood. And the second part of the word is courage, which means the quality of mind or spirit that enables a person to face difficulty, danger, pain, all without fear. So as we combine these two words, when we encourage someone, it is to infuse them with courage, which we have, so that another person will have the peace of mind to face difficulties, danger, and pain without as much fear. Just as donating blood to someone else is both permanent and life-saving, so when we encourage another person, we are taking some of our courage and permanently infusing it into another person to help them to live a life more fully. And if we stick to the analogy of donating blood, encouragement does not have to be reserved for somebody that we know. Complete strangers may also benefit when we infuse them with the courage that we may have in abundance. On the opposite side of this coin, though, let's look at what it means to discourage someone. The prefix dis or dis negates or reverses the word that is attached to. Dissatisfied means not satisfied, so to discourage a person is to take courage away from that person. In our blood transfusion analogy, to discourage another person is the same as sucking the blood right out of that person, which could literally endanger their lives. This certainly should give us pause on how we speak and treat other people. An encouraging person is pleasant to be around because he builds you up and strengthens you by his example, his words, his actions, and attitudes. A discouraging person weakens, deprives of hope, and tears down rather than strengthens or builds up. As a Christ follower, I find in the Scriptures a continual reminder to encourage or to infuse with courage one another at all times. Even God's Spirit, who He sent to dwell in us when Christ ascended into heaven, was referred to in John chapter 14 by the Greek word paraclete, which is somebody to come alongside of another to counsel, encourage, to help, and to bring comfort. And this is the role of God's Spirit in our lives. Encouragement also has a reference to urge or exhort. If a person has fear and needs courage, you may need to urge or exhort them so that they can gain the courage needed for the task at hand. To encourage is not necessarily a feel-good word, such as to encourage someone. but to give them courage to do what is right, just, and fair in all situations. A person needing help may not require comfort so much as a challenge. The word is used to exhort troops to go into battle. It not only empathizes, but motivates or inspires. It not only gives comfort, but also gives courage. It impels hesitant soldiers into battle or fearful sailors into the storm. In the Apostle Paul's letter to the church of Thessalonica, chapter 5, verses 11 through 16, is a very good overview of encouragement as it is revealed. And it says, "So encourage each other and build each other up, just as you are already doing. Dear brothers and sisters, honor those who are your leaders in the Lord's work. They work hard among you and give you spiritual guidance. Show them great respect and wholehearted love because of their work, and live peacefully with each other. Brothers and sisters, we urge you to warn those who are lazy, encourage those who are timid, take tender care to those who are weak. Be patient with everyone. See that no one pays back evil for evil, but always try to do good to each other and to all people. Always be joyful. Never stop praying. Be thankful in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you who belong to Christ Jesus." And we see that the scriptures are filled with words of encouragement and exhortation to encourage others. In the future, we will take some more days on our trek to look at the important subject of encouragement. But I will leave you with this question for today's trek. Do you practice this encouragement in your own life to bring courage to yourself and then to donate some of that courage into the lives of others that you impact? Well, that'll finish our podcast for today. If you've missed any of the previous podcasts, please check out Wisdom Trek at iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Spreaker, YouTube, or at wisdom-trek.com. Tomorrow we will consider the fact that we will never pass this way again. So please join us at our camp tomorrow for another day of Wisdom Trek, creating a legacy. And if you enjoy these daily doses of wisdom, these nuggets that we consume each day, I encourage you to take the time to invest in yourself. First, invest with your time in improving Wisdom Trek by leaving your name, email address, and a comment on our website so that we can provide you with the wisdom and insight that best fits your needs. Second, invest in yourself by listening to the 7 Minutes of Wisdom through Wisdom Trek each day. This is best done by subscribing at iTunes or Stitcher so it's downloaded to you automatically each day. And third, invest in the lives of others by sharing with your family and friends, either in person or online, to join us on our journey through Wisdom Trek. And if you haven't done so already, please leave us a rating at iTunes and Stitcher so that we'll gain more exposure and allow others to join us on our trek. The journal from today's podcast can be found at wisdom-trek.com, where you'll also find pictures, tweetable quotes, wisdom nuggets, and free resources. Thank you so much for allowing me to be your guide, your mentor, but most importantly, your friend, as I serve you through this Wisdom Trek podcast and journal each day. As we take this trek together, let us always live abundantly or fully, love unconditionally, listen intentionally, learn continuously, lend to others generously, lead with integrity, and leave a living legacy each day. This is Guthrie Chamberlain, reminding you to keep moving forward, enjoy your journey, and create a great day every day. See you tomorrow.